There's many things that people fear, and one of those is Mother Nature. One of the greatest fears of the modern era, due to its potential to cause an apocalyptic scenario never seen before, is that of the eruption of the Yellowstone Supervolcano. Though many might not be aware of its dangers, it appears to pose one of the greatest realistic chances of wiping out the majority of life on Earth, and possibly lead to the extinction of the human race. Yellowstone officials have come forward and said that 125 earthquakes have hit the region in less than 1 week, with scientists saying that these earthquakes hit the region that's already weakened by years of magmatic activity, with officials saying they recorded 125 tremors, most of which were detected southeast of West Thumb in Yellowstone National Park. This has caused some to panic though, as it's thought the supervolcano could be due for an eruption, as the last time it erupted was over 640,000 years ago. The news caused people to express their opinions on social media, with one person saying the following: "As if 2020 is about to hit us with a supervolcano eruption. I wouldn't be surprised though. What a year." End quote. With another person saying the following: "You think 2020 can't get worse? The Yellowstone supervolcano eruption could happen any time." Or this person said this: "What if the final boss of 2020 is the Yellowstone supervolcano? Besides the obvious obliteration of those within its eruption zone, myriads of ash are spewed out across the world, which, like it did millions of years ago, eventually bringing about a sulfuric acid downpour." End quote. Although these tweets sound like jokes, the reality is if this supervolcano was to erupt, it would likely cause irreversible damage, and would probably be the end of civilization. Researchers have come forward and said they're keeping a close eye on the caldera as it's been giving off warning signs. The volcano is always being monitored by the United States Geological Survey, and every so often they give updates about what's going on. Researchers in 2014 were surprised when they discovered that lots of gas was being released from Yellowstone, much more than they expected. One of the lead scientists said the following: "We had a moment when we realized, wow, that's a lot of crustal helium coming out of Yellowstone, far more than we would have predicted." End quote. Study author Bill Evans went on to say the following: "That 2 million years might seem like a really long time to people, but in the geologic timescale, the volcanism is a recent phenomenon. One of the reasons the helium was released was because a hotspot of collected magma made its way to the Earth's surface." Dr. Evans said, "Think of it this way. You have these old crustal rocks just sitting around for hundreds of millions, perhaps billions of years. They have this boring little existence, and then suddenly somebody puts the heat on under them, and they start giving up all their long-held secrets. It's things like this that are making people worried about what's going on at Yellowstone." Portland State University geology professor Dr. Scott Burns said the following: "A large amount of small tremors have been detected around the national park. Other researchers have said that magma and gases underneath the park are starting to rise. Not only this, but the United States Geological Survey has said the famous steamboat has erupted many times in recent years, breaking the record for the shortest interval between eruptions. Data has shown that in the past 12 months, over 200 earthquakes have hit Yellowstone, and this suggests that a large tectonic plate shift has taken place underneath the surface of the Earth. As of right now, the researchers are telling everyone not to worry, as they're keeping a close eye on the data." Larry Mastin, a United States Geological Survey hydrologist, recently worked on a paper. It detailed the effect the ash would have on our planet after the supervolcano erupted. He said the following: "The objective was to see how the growth of the umbrella clouds would affect the ash distribution from Yellowstone. We did a few dozen simulations, starting with an erupted volume of a few hundred cubic kilometers of magma. So this is if you consider the volume of tephra that expands as it erupts. The volume of the tephra blanket that forms would be a few times greater than that of the magma alone. so this would be comparable to a tephra volume of over 1,000 cubic kilometers. For those unaware, this is the rock fragments and particles ejected by a volcanic eruption. He went on to say the following: "We used a duration that ranged from 3 days to 1 month, and an umbrella cloud height that ranged from around 15 to 35 kilometers, or 9 to 18 miles. The test showed that most of North America would be buried in ash. The fallout would include short-term destruction of Midwest agriculture, and rivers and streams would be clogged by grey muck. The eruption of the massive Yellowstone Supervolcano will do much more than just emit a large amount of materials from the volcano itself. It's predicted that the massive amount of force and pressure released by the volcano will trigger other pockets of magma to release nearby, in quick-forming shafts that will grow in size throughout the volcano's eruption. Those scientists are aware of the fact that the eruption of a volcano cannot trigger the eruption of nearby volcanoes. In the event of a supervolcano and its eruption, the incredibly large amount of forces and material buildup will lead to a pocket of nearby magma vents to form, creating a number of normal volcanic entities that will also spew out a large amount of volcanic materials. Though technically speaking, the Yellowstone Supervolcano is not triggering other dormant volcanoes, it will continue to form these vents, of which will grow in size, and will appear to be similar to that of smaller volcanoes having formed. It's also believed that with a large enough tectonic plate shift, caused by the overwhelming seismic activity that will be caused by the forces of eruption behind the supervolcano, a number of large vents could form along the ridges of the shifting tectonic plates. So what do you guys make of these recent earthquakes hitting Yellowstone? And do you think the Yellowstone Supervolcano is going to erupt anytime soon? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.